The two most important pages on your website are the home page and the About Us page. And why? Because those are the pages that most people are going to look at, the ones they're most going to be influenced by, because they're most likely to land on your website on the home page. And then, of course, they want to know what you're about. They want to know who the people are behind the business, so they'll head over to the About Us page. Let's have a look at some of the elements that you should have in your MSP's About Us page to make sure it delivers the most value to your business. Now, where a home page is almost like a summary of the whole business, the About Us page is about the people and the core values of the business. So, of course, you still have an attention-grabbing headline, although a different one to the one that you have on the home page. And, of course, you still have your social proof, data capture maybe, and certainly a call to action, plus, of course, videos and photographs of real people. It's just that you present those in different ways than you would do on your homepage. The most important thing on your About Us page is your story, but it needs to be presented in a way that's relevant to the reader. And actually, it's not really about you. You can talk a little bit about you and how you're really into tech as a child and you're obsessed with computers as a teenager and you've been doing it now for 800 years, and then 20 years ago you had an entrepreneurial seizure and you decided you've got to do your own things your own way, etc., etc. I mean, all of that is good. In fact, actually, you can take that backstory, you can embellish it, you can enhance it, but you have to tell it in a way that makes it interesting to the reader. Because you being obsessed with computers, that's not really of interest to them until they realize, or you tell them, that that means that you're across every technology detail in your business and you only hire people who are incredibly attention-focused, very good technology people, and they're very good at following systems and documenting success and all of that kind of thing. So you take your story and you keep flipping it around and looking at it from a different angle so that actually your story is about the reader. Even an About Us page is not really an About Us page, it's about the prospect. It's a selling page, that's what it really is. So of course, something else you'd do on there is you'd put some case studies on there. Now, if you've got case studies on your homepage, you can repeat those, and video case studies are absolutely fine. You can repeat those across the site. You can also repeat just sort of normal printed case studies or PDF case studies that they could download, or even just web page case studies as well. You don't have to have those completely separate between the homepage and the About Us page, but you do need to make sure you have some kind of case studies on your About Us page. And people go to an About Us page because they want to know about the people. They want to know who it is they might end up buying from, but also, of course, with the case studies, they want to see who else you are working with. And case studies are typically more influential because it's a form of social proof. It makes you appear safe to people who are thinking of buying from you. When they can see that other people like them have trusted you and continue to trust you, that makes you a very safe pair of hands to them. And that's what we're trying to get them to feel. Now, the next thing you need is something about what drives you and your team. So how do you all jump out of bed every morning? You know, do you all run into the office? You can't wait to get your hands on a keyboard and do all those proactive checks to stop things going wrong, and how you actually feel honored to protect people. You feel honored and proud to think that 1,000 people in your local area trust you every day to keep them working. They trust you and your team. And that's the kind of intent and the kind of language that we want to see on your About Us page. We want drive. We want passion. We want to see and feel and smell that passion, because passion sells. And the more passion you can put actually into your overall website, but especially your About Us page, the more you're going to connect with people, the more you're going to engage with them. And then I suggest you put on some stuff about your family if you can, if it's acceptable to you to do this. Put on a photo of you, your other half, maybe even your kids. I've seen quite a few MSPs do that, and it's great because it makes you real. It makes you not just an IT person and the owner of the business. It makes you a wife or a husband or a mom or a dad. And this is really, really important, because it makes you human. You will find a photo of me and my child on my MSP Marketing Edge website. And again, that helps us to connect because it shows you that I'm a real person. People do business with people. They don't do business with businesses. People buy from people. This is really important to understand. So let's show them the people. You almost want to reflect anything which makes you connectable. So let's say, for example, you're really into I don't know, a local sport, let's say football, and you might have a piece on your About Us page about how much you're into football. Perhaps even with a photo of you in your local team kit, or, a photograph with some of the players or something. If you're really into, let's say, playing golf, right, you'd have a photo of you with your golf sticks. I don't do golf, obviously, you can tell by that. But if you do, again, that makes you relatable to anyone that does golf. If you adore when you live, absolutely adore it, then have a photo of you next to one of the big landmarks in your town or something like that, the kind of landmark that everyone would recognize. It's all about connections. If people buy from people, you've got to show them the real you. And I'll tell you what else you can use is a bit of business nostalgia. Nostalgia's great. So if you've got a photo of you in your first van, or some kind of photo of you at your first desk back in the day, or with an old computer, there is that famous photo floating out there of Jeff Bezos of Amazon sat at his first desk in his garage in Seattle in 1995, and the desk was made of an old door. And that's still a thing that they do now at Amazon. They use desks made out of doors because it's all part of their heritage. It's all part of their nostalgia, which is great. Not that Amazon needs an About Us page, but you get the idea. Now, you can do exactly the same thing. Show us something from the past. If you've got maybe, I don't know, it could be a photo of you as a child sat with a really vintage computer, or just you, without the grey hair, something like that. It would be an absolute great piece of business nostalgia, and people really do love this and they connect to it. Now, of course, it's not just about you, the owner, the leader on the About Us page. You should have some profiles and pictures of your team. They only need to be like 25, 30 word profiles. They don't need to be huge. Perhaps just about what they do in their spare time, or something quirky. You could even do like a mini interview with them. What's their favourite food? What's their favourite place to visit? What's their favourite sport? Which is the best Star Wars movie? That kind of thing. And you can just do little profiles of the team. That kind of thing, again, works really well with a photo of them on your About Us page. And then one final thing to go on this page, and you're not going to be surprised by this, it is, of course, a call to action, because we need to have that. Every single page of your website needs a call to action. And the very best one right now, it still is your live calendar, so people can book in a 15-minute discovery call with you. That's really important, because that About Us page is a core sales page.
Paul Green's MSP Marketing Edge.